provide you guys full implementation document in a document format. You will get all the information. Okay, so full implementation document. Full implementation document as well as recording what we have covered in a, okay, all in recorded format for lifetime you will get. So live recordings. Okay. For lifetime you will get, I will share the link of this recording and you will download, okay, for your future reference. And short notes. Short notes. Short notes that will very helpful for your interview. Okay, because during interview you don't have much time to see all the recordings, all the full implementation document. Okay, will not have sufficient time. So that time you will see this short notes. Okay, and this short note we will prepare during this class. Okay, during this class I will prepare, and at end of the session I will share this short note with you. Okay, guys. So this all the things I will provide. Okay, after every class, what we have covered after every class, topic wise, I will share with you. Guys, I think this all information are sufficient. Okay, for your interview, the short notes will help, and for full revision, full practice, these are the things are sufficient. Okay, in other trainings, you not get, only maybe you get recordings. Okay, but this full implementation document and short notes that no one provide in a full way. Okay, you see my documents, then you will understand what I have provided to you. Okay, guys.
Okay.
So short notes, yeah, and in your interface. Okay, so short notes in technical term we called it KDS file, key data structure file, key data structure file. That means short notes. Okay, short notes, or we called it KDS file.
Mm,
KDS file. In short form, we called it KDS file. That means short notes. Okay. So in this SAP HCM module, SAP HCM course, okay, in SAP HCM module, okay, there are many things. Okay. So here we will module wise. Okay, we will cover module wise all the things. Like in SAP HCM, there are total 5, 6, 4 to 5 sub modules in SAP HCM. Okay, like first that is personnel administration, personnel administration, personnel administration. Second sub module, second sub module, that is organization management, organization management. Third, that is time management. Time management. Fourth, payroll. And fifth, personnel development. So these are the 5 sub modules. Okay, during this course in SAP HCM module wise, some module wise, we will cover the whole syllabus. If you see the brochure, what our institute provide, in that brochure, you will see the complete syllabus is divided into these sub modules. Okay, and here one more, that is intro part. Okay, introduction to SAP. Introduction to SAP. Okay, what is SAP, why we use SAP, why we not choose other ERP software, why we choose SAP ERP software, what are the modules in SAP, okay? What is the use of SAP HCM module? So that all we cover in introduction session, okay? We navigate how to navigate in SAP system. We change theme, change color, change logout from the system, login into system, how to add any server in SAP system. So that all we learn in this introduction to SAP. Okay. Then we start with our SAP HCM module from this. Okay. So these are the 5 sub modules. This is common. This is common for every. If you learn SAP HCM, SAP MM, SAP AST, whatever module you will learn, okay? So in those modules, first you learn like what is SAP, because in during interview, your interviewer will ask first, they will ask like what is SAP, what is ERP, why we choose SAP, what are the modules in SAP, what are the meaning of like MM module, SD module, what are the means of these modules. So that is why for intro, okay, that is why like what is SAP, because first of all we know the what is exactly SAP do, okay. After that we go to our SAP HCM module, okay, so that from any side if interviewer asks question you will, okay, give a appropriate a valid answer, okay, so that your interviewer will impress with you, okay. So that is why first of all we cover the introduction. So this is all the sub modules we will cover in this introduction. Okay. We cover all this introductory related to SAP. We will cover in personnel administration. Okay. We cover enterprise structure. We divide employees in different groups. We define enterprise structure like what is company, like Tata Group, Mahindra Group, okay, Infosys, Wipro. So this is the same way we take an example, or for that we create an enterprise structure. Like if we talk like Tata Group, so Tata Group have many verticals like TCS. TCS have many offices in different locations. So we define that location like TCS. We define that location for a random company. Okay, so under that location, there are different departments. On those in those departments, different employees in different groups they are working. Okay, so that all we have defined. So under that personnel administration, we defined enterprise structure. Enterprise structure. Guys, if you have any question, anytime you can ask. Okay, so this is not like okay. Whenever you feel
Mhm.
like, sir, I'm not understand this topic, anytime you can ask. Okay. Personnel structure. Personnel structure. So in a personnel administration, enterprise structure like company, how many locations company have. So for that personnel areas, technically in SAP we call personnel areas. How many departments? So we define personnel sub areas. So that we define under this enterprise structure. What is personnel
Mhm.
structure? Under personnel structure, we divide employees in different groups. Okay. So that is personnel structure. Like those employees are currently working, we make a group that is for active employees. Those are currently working. Those are not currently working, we make them inactive employees. Active, active employees may be your full-time, part-time, trainees. Same like inactive employees, they also full-time, maybe they also part-time, and now they are retired, they are transferred. Okay, so that all this
Mhm.
type of group we define under this personnel structure. Okay, and here we also the more important concept, that is personal action. Personal action. Okay, personal action simply means that if you want to hire any employee, so for that we define hiring related configuration in the system. If you want to transfer any employee, how to transfer. If you want to make a promote, okay, Maybe promotion of any employee. So how to promote, retire. So these all the actions, these all the different actions that we define under this personnel administration. Okay. So this is a
Mm.
small overview. Okay. This is a small overview. During this configuration, I will elaborate like what are the exactly what we do. Okay. This is a simple introduction. Okay.
Okay. I have one
Yeah.
question. So,
Then in
sometimes,
yeah, ask.
so, sometimes when we are working with employees, so there are contractual employees and employees like the company employees. So that will
Yeah,
also
yeah,
come under
yes. Yeah, yeah.
personal structure. Okay.
Yeah, correct, correct. That under comes under personal stacks. I will
Okay.
configure that group. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
when you are hiring any employee, that time you hire in a on a contract based group, in a permanent group. Okay. In which
Mm,
group you want
mm,
to hire. Okay. So
mm,
for that, we
mm.
define different groups. That groups
Okay.
may be active, may be inactive because retiring group are the
Mm,
inactive group. Correct.
mm,
But full time,
mm,
those are
mm,
currently working, they are active. So then we define different groups.
mm.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Now, like in enterprise structure, like in enterprise structure, we define like company. Okay, in which company you want to hire any employee. Okay, means legal entity. We called it also legal entity. Because company is a legal entity that is government certified.
Mm,
Okay, company,
mm,
company code, company code, uh, which is used for maintain all the accounting, all the transaction, all the balance sheet. Okay, so that we define under a company code. Like personnel area means there is any location, geographical location where your company operates its businesses. Okay, that may be any reason, location may be reason, maybe state, maybe any country. So that is the way we have defined personnel areas. Personnel sub areas. So this is subdivision of personnel area. Okay, more specific, more specific. Like in a particular location, how many departments? So those departments we define under this personnel sub areas. Okay, simply
mm,
we define departments. Okay, so that we define under this enterprise structure. Okay, same like in personal structure, we defined employee groups. Okay, employee
mm,
groups, that group may be active, may be inactive. Okay, those are currently working in the company, we call them active. Those are not
mm,
working, currently not working in the company, we call them inactive employees. And
mm,
we called it employee sub. Like your question, like we
mm,
in a contract employees. So like active employees, maybe your part-time employee. Okay, part-time
mm,
employee, or we called contract-based employee. Okay,
mm,
contract-based employee. Maybe your full-time employee, or we called permanent employee, or we call like training employees who are fresh or currently joined the company. Okay, so we define different groups. We define different groups. Those group also currently those employees not currently working. So we define like retired, maybe transferred. Okay, so
mm.
that also we make different groups. So personal action here we define different action menus. Okay, under action menus like those menus may be hiring, maybe transfer, maybe promotion, maybe okay. So that we have defined different action. So these under personnel administration we will define. Same like in organization management. Organization management any employee who is working in which designation any employee is working. Okay. So that designation we will define in this organization management. Okay. So in this organization management, we defined organization structure. Okay. Organization structure. Organization structure, same like enterprise structure. But here one more thing, like here also we define like company. Okay. Company, different location, and we call like different location, departments. So these we called organization unit. Okay, organization units. Organization units. And in this organization, okay, these are the organization units. Okay, like company, location, department, the same in enterprise structure, the same what we have defined, the same we have defined like company, location, departments. But here one thing like different designation that also we defined here. Okay, in which any employee who is working in a particular designation, okay, that designation department wise we have defined. Departments maybe your finance department, HR department, procurement department, sales department. So there are different departments. So it is depends on your client, your company, what are the departments they want. Okay. So according to that departments, what are the designations? So we call it position. In SAP HCM, we call it position. Okay. Position, or we call like job. Okay. So that we define designation. So in which designation, who is our working? So we hire an employee. Okay. So that employee we assign here. We assign in a particular location. So here we have person. Okay. Person simply means that we assign employees. Assign employees. Assign employees in a designation, or be called in a position. Okay. We hire an employee, and that employee we assign in a particular designation. Okay. So that we cover like this is organization structure, and we define reporting structure. Reporting structure. Reporting structure. Reporting structure simply means that who reports whom. Okay. Who reports whom. So that we define like trainees reports to them, maybe their team leads. Okay. Maybe their assistant manager. So that we define. Okay. Like simply called trainees reports to their team leads. Team leads. Okay. Team leads, maybe there are different here because these are trainees working different groups, HR groups, okay, finance group, it depends on company. Okay. These are trainees report to their specific team leads. These team leads report to their maybe in company, maybe assistant manager, and assistant managers report to their managers. Okay. Report to their managers, manager report to their senior managers. Senior manager. Senior manager reports to their chiefs. Okay. Chief maybe finance related chief. Okay. Chief financial officer, chief executive officer. Okay. So there are different chief in the company. So senior managers report to chief. Chief report to director. Maybe report to president of the company. Okay. So there are different. Okay. Co-founder. We also call founder, co-founder. Okay. This is the way. This is the way. Okay. So in organization management, we defined organization structure, reporting, structure. Okay, guys, understood what we have to cover in this personal administration, in this organization management, and in time
Sorry,
management.
I have one last
Yeah,
question
tell
in
me.
this. So, like
Yeah, ask me.
in workday also, when we are doing like with every company or company code, we also have to assign certain, cost center to employees. So, does this comes under
Yeah,
organization
yeah.
management? Okay, okay,
Organization. Yeah, yeah.
okay.
Organization structure.
Hmm,
Here we call like organization
okay,
structure. Okay.
okay. Yeah.
Cost center that is
Thank you.
come under organization structure. We represent its SK. Okay. Here different
Hmm,
P. Okay.
hmm,
Positions so different. Here represent as food. So they are different
hmm,
way we have represent. Like in time management, we have covered. Okay. Calendar. Okay. We define calendar. We define holidays. Okay. Company follow this type of calendar. Company defined how many holidays they want to give to their employees. So for that we define different holidays. Okay, and we assign these holidays to the calendar. Okay, so that we have to define, and here time management related like attendance, or we call work schedule related things we have covered. Okay, attendance or work schedule like how many hours you are working. Okay, so that you have to cover in this attendance related things, how many breaks. Okay, and in a week how many days you are working, so that all the attendance related things we will cover in this attendance or work schedule. Same like absence, which type of absence company have provided, right? Okay, so that for different absences that we have to define. Okay, we will define like absence, maybe casual leave, casual absence, maybe annual leave, maybe sick leave, maybe paternity leave, maternity leave. So company provide different type of absence, different type of leaves. So that leaves we defined in this time management somewhat. Okay, and there are many more things. Okay, during configuration, I will tell what are the things we will cover under this time management. Same like if we go with payroll. So in payroll, like payroll area, we define payroll area. We define payroll area. Payroll area we have to define, and company follow a calendar year, financial year, non-calendar year, financial year. We define financial year. We call this fiscal year. Fiscal year variant. In SAP, we call fiscal year variant, which means your company follow calendar year, or we say like non-calendar year, financial year. Okay, so that we defined. Which type of chart of account, like all the fast salary related, or we say like different type of transaction like salary related, bonus related. Okay, so for that we require to define chart of account. Chart of account. Chart of account is used for maintain all your transaction. Okay, for their analysis, for their reporting. So we required chart of account. Okay, chart of account. So in payroll, we define chart of account, financial year variant, payroll area, okay, salary date. We called in SAP payday. Okay, we called in SAP payday. Payday means your salary date. Salary date. Salary date, which means like in which date you will get your salary. Okay, so that you have to define. Okay, in salary date, or we say like salary date. So and in a group, like maybe managers group, maybe for your senior managers group, assistant group, okay, see our teams, team leads. So they have different like a different pay scale. Okay, we defined pay scale. Simply we called pay scale. That pay scale, that pay scale maybe okay, for manager have different range. Okay, for assistant, for trainees, okay, have different range. Okay, maximum amount, minimum pay scale, maximum pay scale. Okay, so that we define under this pay scale. Salary range. Okay, we defined salary range. Simply we called salary range. So we define maximum salary, minimum salary. Okay, so that we have defined. So here, these all the things. Okay, salary related, all the configuration. Okay, and here, okay, how many day you are working in the company. Okay, you are work in the company. Accordingly, you will get your salary. Okay, so that is we make integration with payroll and time management. Okay, so that effectively we count what exactly hours you are working in the company. Accordingly, you will get your salary. So that you, for that you have to make a link, make a connection between your time management and payroll. So that also we will cover. Okay, so this is a small, and in this personal development, how to hire a skilled employee. Okay, so for that, maybe that employee you are hired through referral. Okay, you are referral. So from your referral, you will get hire an employee. Okay, maybe different advisor in external or we call internal. So in internally, we hire through referral. How to hire a skilled employee. So in personal development, maybe that employee you have to hire through referral, that we call internal hiring. Okay, and maybe through external, maybe you are advertising different advertising in different website, like maybe you advertise in newspaper. Okay, like there is any in your company have any vacancy, so for that you have to advertising, okay, in different website, in different newspapers. So in your different social media platform, like in your company have vacancies, have many openings. Okay, so that for you make advertising. So for that, how to make, so for that, like that is internal, that is external, that you have to cover. Okay, so through newspapers, through social media platform, through job portals, there is many more thing we will cover. Okay, and if we talk about like in introduction, like what is SAP, what is SAP, okay, and what are the modules in SAP, what are the modules in SAP, and what are the types of consultants. So what are the types of consultant working, we can like, what are the types of consultant in SAP? Okay, SAP systems is divided into different, okay, SAP is divided into different sections, different systems. So that system we call it SAP landscape. SAP divided into different system. If you want to implement, if you want to configure, develop anything, so you develop those things in development system, development server. So for testing in SAP, there are different system that we call quality system, quality server, and in real time, all these things you will do in production server. Okay, real-time server, real-time system. So that we covered in SAP landscape. Okay, and SAP navigation. Okay, SAP GUI, graphical graphical user interface. Graphical user interface. Graphical user face means it is a client side application. Okay, where you have to do all your activities. Okay, and that activities will save in the SAP server. Okay, so SAP GUI is a client side application. Client side application. Client side application. Client side application. Okay, so here you see this is your GUI application. Okay, I save in my taskbar. If you open it, okay. So here you see this is SAP NetWeaver SAP GUI for Windows. Here you see SAP GUI for Windows. Okay. So this is SAP system, and here if I log in into SAP server, so these are different instance. Okay, these are different instance. So let's suppose I log in into one instance where I will do all our activities. Okay, here you see this is first interface. Okay, here client. Okay, according to your instance, which type of client. Okay, so there you have client number, user ID, password. Okay, user ID, password. So enter your user ID. What you will get from institute. Okay, and enter your password. So first time you will get default password. Okay, from the institute you will get default password. Enter that default password. After entering that default password, automatically you will get a pop-up message. Okay, a pop-up message that is create your own password. So from next time you will enter the same user ID. Okay, and the password what you have created. Okay, what you have created, enter that password. Okay, your own password. Like I have entered my own password, and I have to log in into SAP. Here you see I'm logging in SAP. Here you see, so this is SAP first screen. After login into SAP, SAP GUI application, this is your first screen. Okay, this is your first screen. Here you see this is SAP menu. End user will work here. Okay, in this window, and here you see different menus. If you want to open user menu, this is your user menu. This is user menu. Okay, your name will show here. Okay, what is your user ID? That user ID will show here. And this is SAP menu. This is SAP menu. This is your SAP menu. This is business workplace. This is for technical consultant. Okay, if you want to refresh. So there are different. Okay, so SAP divided into different section. This is one section. Okay, this is one section. This is one section. This is one section. This is one section. This is one more section, and this is the last section. Okay, so there are 7 to 8 sections. SAP divided. This screen is divided into 7 to 8 sections. Okay, I will tell you like what are the meaning of this section, why we SAP divided into different sections. Okay, that we will cover. But this is our first screen, and here what is the name of this screen? This is the name of SAP Easy Access. Okay, name of the screen, that is SAP Easy Access screen. Okay, this is the page. So here this is our SAP GUI application, and here we learn navigation. Okay, like how to log in into SAP, how to log off from SAP. Okay, and how to change theme, how to change color. Okay, how to navigate from one window of SAP, from one screen of SAP to different screen, like this way. Like this way, this is the task bar. Okay, this is a command bar. Here you run, here you enter different T codes. In SAP, T codes means transaction code. Transaction code is used for transfer from one window, one screen to another screen. Okay, one window to another. So here, let's suppose I enter a T code, that is MM01 for creating material. Press enter. Here you see I'm coming to different window. Okay, so through this here I have run different T codes. Okay, and I will migrate from one window to another window. Okay, so this is our command bar. This is our command bar. So here we navigate. Okay, so in this introduction section, all the navigation we will learn. Okay, all the navigations. Okay, how to navigate. Okay, so navigations we will learn in this introduction. Okay, and in this introduction also we have to learn info types. Info types. Info types means information type. Information types. Information types. Information type means where you have to store your all the data. Okay. So it is a tool. It is a tool in info type. It is a tool. Like when you hire an employee. Okay. When you will hire an employee, that time you have to enter. That time you have to enter employees related all the information. So where you have to enter the like employees uh, employees personal information, personal data, employees family data. Okay, employees family data, employees education, employees experience, experiences, employees bank details. So where you have to enter these all the details, these all the details where you have to enter. So you have to enter these all the information into info types. Okay. So info types it is used for enter all your employees related information in which okay uh, your any employee who is working in which company. Okay, in which department, in which location. Okay, and what are their name, what is the employee's name, what is their first name, last name, full name, date of birth, family details, education, experiences, bank details. Okay, if they get any salary, so what are the salary related, all the information you have to enter different info types. In SAP you have different info types. In those info type you have to enter all this information. Okay, like so I have run one T code that is PA30, sorry, PA30, and you will see maintain HR master data. And here you see different info types, different info types. These info types have tags as well as code, unique code. Like here you see, this is info type. Okay. And I will click on it and here you will see different info types. Here you see different info types. Action info types, which type of action you want to do, like hiring action, promotion action, transfer action, which type of action. Organization assign, organization related information enter into a employee. Okay, so that like in which location, in which department, okay, in which designation employees working, that organization related information you have to enter. Like personal data. Okay, their personal data, like what is name, date of birth. Okay, so that you have to enter here. Payroll status, what is the employee's payroll related things you have to enter here. Challenges. Okay, leave entitlement, address, employee's address, planned working time. Okay, when this employee okay, what are their weekdays planning, monthly planning, so that we had plan working time, basic pay. Okay, their salary related thing, bank details, recurring payment, there is any payment that is recurring, so that you have to maintain here. Additional payment mean bonuses. Okay, travel privilege. So there are different info types, there are different info types, depends on your client, depends on your company. Okay, so what are the info types they have found. Okay, in SAP there are total 9,000. Okay, Total 9,000 or 10,000. Total 10,000 info types. Total 10,000 info types. 9,000 are standard info types, means SAP pre-built. Okay. SAP built info types, that is 9,000, and 1,000 if you want to configure. Okay. So with the help of AWeber, you will configure customized info type. Okay. So there are total 10,000 because SAP is a global company. Okay. It is a global company. So that is why for every company have different related, means they have different culture, different things. Okay. Different pay structure, different government rules, regulation. So accordingly, SAP have defined. So like in India, which type of things company demands, okay, during their hiring. So accordingly, we will select different info types. Okay. And we assign this info types into particular action. Okay. Which type of action we want to, like during hiring, what are the information we want to enter? During promotion, what are the information we want to enter? So that way we have to define. Okay. So these are different info types. Clear? What is info type? So that we will learn. That we will learn. Okay. So these are the things. These are the things. And one more question, like what are the okay, like here opportunities in SAP, opportunities. Okay. Opportunities simply means what are the companies? Okay. Which are the companies? Okay. So who is used? Okay. Companies use SAP. Okay. So what are the companies who are use SAP? So if I okay, so randomly I have searched, okay, list of companies, okay, list of companies using SAP. Yeah, that is some, okay. List of companies using SAP. I've randomly searched, okay, on a browser, and you will see there are different, okay. So our opportunities in which company we will apply, okay. So there are maybe a global company, maybe not a global company, maybe country specific company, okay. So like if we talk about manufacturing and okay, auto, automotive companies. So here we see BMW, Ford, okay, Motors, Boeing, Siemens, Tata Motors. Here you see consumer goods and retail, Walmart, Coca-Cola, Pepsi. Okay, so there are different technology. So here you see Apple, BMW, Amazon. So that are all are using fashion. Here you see different fashion related companies, IT related companies in India. So here you see different companies. There you see manufacturing companies, different manufacturing companies, retail companies in India, different retail companies. Here you see other company, okay, other industries. So if I randomly search, open a website, GFG, here you will see different companies. Different companies use, okay, different companies are using SAP for manage their entire business. Here you see IT companies. So these are different IT companies. TCS, IBM, Accenture, HCL. Okay. These are the different companies who are use SAP. Okay. And you know, in every company, HR is required. Okay. Every company, HR is mandatory, HR is important. Okay. So if these companies use SAP to manage their entire business, so surely they will use SAP HCM module. Okay. To manage their HR related things. Okay. So like non-IT companies, so these are different non-IT companies. If you are a non-technical background, okay, if you're that time you will can apply on these companies. Here you see list of top automotive companies in India. So there are different pharmaceutical companies here you see. Okay. So there are different, okay, PSUs and government companies as well as private companies you will see. So these are the companies where you will apply, okay, after this course complete. Okay. After this course completing, you will apply. So these are the opportunities. Okay. Where you have to. So now, guys, you have any question till this point?
Not from my end.
Okay. So Marini, you have any question? If you have, you can ask. Okay. And guys, if you not understand any point, any topic, immediately you ask. Okay. After completing that topic, sir, I am not understanding the topic. Can you again, okay, explain? So I will explain. Okay. So there are different opportunities. There are different opportunities on India as well as outside. Okay. And like, so first to start. Okay, guys. So I will start with a basic example. Okay. First, understand the concept why we required SAP, why we required ERP. Okay. So a basic example to understand the concept, okay, of SAP. So why we want ERP? Why we want to, why we want a ERP? Why we want we say like why we need a ERP? So let's suppose there is a local coffee shop. Okay, let's suppose there is a local coffee shop. Let's suppose XYZ coffee shop. Okay, XYZ coffee shop. So what are the ingredients we need to prepare a coffee, guys? Guys, what are the ingredients? Okay, we have to
Like coffee
required to make
beans,
a coffee. Yeah,
coffee beans, milk,
coffee
sugar,
beans, milk, sugar,
maybe coffee machine or other amenities required.
coffee machine. Yeah, yeah. Someone okay. So coffee machine also, and manually they someone okay. It is a local coffee shop company, local coffee shop. So coffee beans, milk, sugar. Okay, maybe one or two helper. Okay, required some
Hmm.
helper. So maybe one or two helper. So same like for serving, we required glass or cup. Correct,
Hmm.
glass or cup. And how many transaction per day in a week, in a month, so that we want to maintain. So all that transaction means selling. Okay, all the transaction. So let's suppose coffee beans 1 kg. Okay, let's suppose per day. We count based on per day. Okay, per day. Let's suppose coffee beans 1 kg. Okay, per day there's a local coffee shop. Okay, it required 1 kg. Milk. Let's suppose 1 liter. Sugar. Let's suppose 1 kg. Coffee machine. Let's suppose one coffee night manually. Manually, he or she have prepared. Okay, manually. Helper. Let's suppose one or two helper. It is not required. Okay. maybe one or two people have handled all the things because it's a local coffee shop. Class, let's suppose every day 100 coffee you have to sell. Okay. So transaction, that is selling transaction. So how many numbers? Okay. Cup you required 100 cups. Okay. So means 100 transaction. 100 transaction in each day. Okay. 100 transaction per day. So that is the so that is the thing. And now tell me, here we required. So these all this transaction, like 100 transaction each day. So these transaction we have to maintain in a normal copy, obviously like in a normal action file. We want to require any software to maintain these transaction, 100 transaction.
Sorry, I didn't get you. There was
Okay,
a cut. Okay, do we
no
need any
problem.
software to maintain this hundreds transaction?
Yeah. That's I'm asking. We required or need this 100 transactions to maintain every day because it's a
Hmm.
local coffee shop. Okay. And if we take another example that I will compare and you will understand the concept. Okay. Let's suppose Starbucks. Okay. So this is a very famous and a global company, correct?
Hmm.
Starbucks is a global company. And here, if we talk about per day, okay, we count per day related things. So how many? So if we talk about like how many stores, how many restaurant Starbucks have worldwide? Or a wild guess. Can you wild guess how many restaurant worldwide Starbucks have?
Um, it's a lot. I am not sure about the
Randomly,
number, but it's a lot.
no. Lots like a
Maybe
random
10 times
guess.
more than this. I mean, 10 times more
So
than
let's
this
suppose,
local coffee shop.
okay, okay. So let's suppose we select 1,000. Okay, we select 1,000 restaurant worldwide. 1,000 restaurant. Okay, 1,000 restaurant. So if 1,000 restaurant and we count the same like in a local coffee shop, same count like per day. If they want, okay, coffee beans 1 kg. So here we required 1,000 kg, correct?
Yes.
We lokish in milk, okay, we say select the same, okay, like in a local coffee shop we select the same like coffee beans 1 kg. So here 100 restaurant, 100 store, so we total 1,000 kg. Okay, milk 1,000 liter, sugar 1,000 kg, coffee machine. Okay, so required
Hmm.
1,000 coffee machine. Okay, let's suppose every store have 1,000 coffee machine. Helper like employees, or we call a helper, let's suppose maybe required 1,000, or we say like 2,000. 1,000, or we say like 2,000 employees. Glass cups, so every day, let's suppose 100 transaction. So total 1,000 restaurant. So how many transaction per day? 1
1
lakh,
lakh. Mm.
correct? 1 lakh transaction.
Yes.
So selling that also 1 lakh. Now tell me, here, local coffee shop, he required any software to maintain per day 100 transaction. And here, tell me, Starbucks required any software to maintain 1,000 transaction. Who will require?
Of course.
Who
Of
will
course,
require to
Starbucks.
maintain Starbucks? Because here very easy they can memorize. They can also memorize 100 transaction per day. Okay, they can memorize. They can maintain in a register. Okay, in a register, in a Excel file, okay, in a Word file, they can easily maintain. In a Word file, they can easily maintain. But if we saw like a Starbucks, because these restaurant not in a particular location, these stores are worldwide. Okay, so your company required to store all the data, like all the core core person in this companies. Okay, all the core persons, core employees, they want to see all the data every day, like manage senior manager, like different chief, like uh, chief executive officer, chief financial officer, okay, chief operational officer. They want everyday data. So it is not possible they go to every location, okay, and to see all the data. So that time, if we have a software, okay, that time if we have a software, so through that software, we will easy to maintain. We will easy to maintain all the transactions. Okay. So here, all the core person, they wants to require, okay, they want to record all the updates. Okay, per day, all the updates they want. Chief senior person, okay, and maybe different managers, directors, okay, they have to see everyday update, okay, everyday update, instance update they want. So how would they want every day? So if we have a common software, if we have a common software from every location, employees, okay, some dedicated person, okay, will update those transactions, those information, and here, okay, chief senior manager, okay, they have admin access and see all these things, whatever, in which location restaurant is growing, what is in which location restaurant is not growing. Okay, so every day, like everything they can see. Okay, all the statics, all the analysis, what are the weaker areas, what are the strongest areas. Okay, so everything they will see, because in the software we will store every information we will update. Okay, so that is why, okay, so that is the way we have to maintain. We have to maintain very easy way. Okay, we have to maintain very easy way to 100 restaurant. Okay, because if we have a common software, okay, and that common software access, four-person have the access. Okay, four-person have the access. They see the all the information at a one place. At a one place, they will see the all the information. So all the 1,000 restaurant information they will see. They will see in their desktop, in their laptop. Okay, whatever system they have, in those system, all the information automatically update, because we have a common software, and all the location related transaction will update in that software. Okay, so that is why here star one, because this is not a good way in a register, in a Excel file, in a Word file we maintain, because we not easily analysis, we not easily generate any report. So that is why we required a specific software. Okay, that is why we required a specific software. So that software we called ERP. Okay, that software we called ERP software. ERP software means enterprise resource planning. Enterprise resource planning. Enterprise resource planning means how to manage any organization with the help of software. With the help of software. So enterprise means ERP is an integrated software. Integrated means company have different business function. Like company have hiring HR related business function, company have finance related business function, company have sales related business function, okay, procurement related business function. So we need to require ERPs integrated as software solution. So ERP integrate all the business function into one single software. Okay, so ERP is an integrated software that manage all the business processes, or we call business functions, or we call business functions. Okay, in an unified system. That is our ERP software. Okay, and what is the SAP? So like SAP is an ERP software. SAP is an ERP software. Workday is also a ERP software. ERP software. Guys, this concept is clear or not? What is ERP software? And why we require ERP software? Because here we have different activities, not only selling activities. Here we want to everyday purchase, okay? Every day, every month, in a day, we want to purchase coffee beans, we want to purchase milk, sugar every day we require. So these all the purchasing related things also we have to maintain in a software, okay? Like all the purchasing related, okay, selling related, finance related, as well as we call like okay, HR related, HR like hiring any employee, transfer, fired, suspended. So there are different activities. There are different activities we have here. Okay. So all these activities, for all this activity, we have to record. Okay, we have to record a software, because if we normally use a Word file, is Excel file, a register, we effectively not manage the entire businesses. Okay, entire businesses we not effectively manage. So that is why we required a software, and that software is not a simple software. It is a software who is manage complete businesses. Okay, so that software we called ERP. That we called ERP. Guys, this is clear or not?
Yes.
So your SAP is a ERP, Workday is a ERP software, same like Oracle. Oracle is a ERP, Microsoft 365, Microsoft 365, Microsoft Dynamics 365 is one of ERP. Okay, so there are different ERPs, like in India, very famous Tally, Zoho, Zero. Okay, Zero. So there are different ERP software. If we see list of ERP softwares, okay, randomly I have searched, and here you see ERP software 2000. Here you see Microsoft Dynamics 365, SAP, okay, Oracle, and here you see different ERP software. Microsoft, SAP, Oracle, Info, Workday, here you see, okay, Epicor, okay, so different software, here's so different softwares. So there are different softwares, there are different ERP software in the market, okay. So we simply say there are different providers in the market who provide ERP software, okay. So SAP is one of them. Okay, SAP is one of them who provide ERP software, guys. This is clear completely. What is ERP and who will provide this ERP software? So if anyone asked what is ERP software, SAP is a ERP software. So second question is them, what is ERP? So ERP is a integrated software. Through that software, we manage entire businesses. Okay, entire functions of a company. So that is ERP. This is clear, guys, or not?
Yes.
guys, today I am not have too much, okay, much cover the syllabus. So this is all today. I will only the introduction, like what is SAP, what are the things, okay, we will cover in this SAP course, okay. So from tomorrow, from next week, okay, I will start, okay. So this is a simple introduction. This is a simple introduction, what we have to cover, what we have in this our course, okay. So from next week, I will start, okay, how to navigate SAP system, what are the theoretical concept, what are the configuration concept, we will start, okay.
Okay.
So if you guys have any question, you can ask.